Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at AudioScope here from 4 Pockets, Paul, and using it and setting it up and using it in GarageBand. Now this is dead handy because GarageBand doesn't really have a proper mixer, but if you use AudioScope it does. But it also does much more than that. If you're familiar with my other AudioScope video, you can see what it'll do. So AudioScope will work in pretty much any DAW, so you can set it up how you wish. But in GarageBand, it's really cool. So we're going to start with this very, very simple one that I've just set up. And then what I'm going to do is open up another project I've got up, I've made, and set AudioScope in that, and that's a much larger project, and we can do much more cool stuff with the panning and things. But as a general thing, there are only 4 instruments going on in this track, and here it is. Super simples. There's a Chinese kit, a drum kit, an erhu and a gazeng. So if we look here in the plugins and effects, you'll see that I put AudioScope, an instance of AudioScope, at the end of each track. And if we open any of these, you'll see the instruments here. Now open it up full screen, it'll work better. This is the gazeng, the vintage kit, the Chinese kit, and we can mix this however we like, you know. So volume, and I'm going to set my scaling here. It says live mix options. I'm going to set this to 30 dB, so I've got a wider range of control. And you might notice every now and then this Chinese kit glows red. That means it's peaking, so we can lower that down in the mix a bit. And we can also see which track is actually playing by the little rotating dial. So the erhu isn't playing, so it's not working. Gazenga's stopped now. It's just a vintage kit and Chinese kit. And for any of these, we can click on them. If we double click on them, they will reset to their initial position. If we want to select one, we click on it once. And then we're controlling that particular instrument. But we can go, say, into the Chinese kit and go to our EQ. We could go to our shelf EQ, or maybe we could look at another instrument. Let's go with maybe the erhu. Double click to reset. Go to our shelf. Let's go back a little bit here. We also have a compressor, so maybe we want to compress that Chinese kit a bit. Maybe want to do a bit of fine filtering. back to our mix. And then now we've got some serious clipping going on there, so we can just lower that down a bit in the mix, maybe center it up. Open our snapshots here, save this as snapshot 1, give it a 5-second glide time, and if I hit snapshot 2 now, which I set up earlier, and that's a bit loud still. Save this. Actually, I'll overwrite this snapshot as well. Go back to snapshot 1. And then we could say, we might need to increase our range here for our live mix options to 50 dB. Now we can increase the range all the way up to 80 dB. So if you really want a complete fade out, there we go. And what we can do there is go to our snapshots and say, okay, save snapshot, and the glide time for that fade out was going to be 11 seconds. Okay, so now we could go snapshot 1, snapshot 2, and these snapshots can be instant. And then our last one, okay, done. So we can close this now, and it's going to save it for us, and it was saved to us. Now I'm going to open this new one called Alchemy Ambient. Now there are many more tracks here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 tracks, and you can see they've already got names. They're all made with Alchemy Synth. So what I'm going to quickly do is I am going to make a note of these names on a piece of paper. So there'll be a very, very quick cut here for you guys, but I'm just going to name all these instruments so we can put them into AudioScope, and you'll see what I mean when I do that. So I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, I've written all these down on a piece of paper now, so I've got them all written down. What we need to do first is open this here, which gives us access to our effects settings. And we want to be going to plugins and EQ. Make sure our first one is selected. Go edit, and you'll see we have loads of effect slots we can use. Now you'll see visual EQ is the last thing in that slot. Let's move that to there. So this way the AudioScope really wants to be the last effect in the slot. So we're going to open it up here, audio unit extensions, and we're just going to find AudioScope here like this, and that's done. And what I'm going to do now, you see we can open this up here like this. And the first thing I'm going to do, actually, what I'm going to do before I do anything else at all, is I'm going to open this up. You will see there is one instance there, but I am going to reset my, I'm going to initialize my settings anyway. But I think this was already done in the last update, but just in case, you can go to live and then you can go, where are we now? Here we go. Just, sorry, instead of long hold, just one click and I'll just go initialize mix. Yes, I'll initialize the mix. And it's done, and now we're ready. And you'll see we just have our one AudioScope thing there. And we know that this needs to be named Curious Hammers because I've got a list of it here. But before I do that, I'll name them all one after another so it's all set up. What I'm going to do is there'll be another quick cut here. I'm going to add in on all of these an AudioScope. So I'll show you the first few. Visual EQ, there's none there. In here, we want to be adding audio unit extension and finding our AudioScope. And again, we want to go to our third one, edit. The last one's there, that's fine. I'm going to go to audio units and AudioScope. And then I'm going to go to my fourth one here and go edit. I'm going to move visual EQ up to here and choose AudioScope. And there'll be another quick cut here, guys, while I add an AudioScope to the rest of these. Okay, welcome back. So I've now added, you'll see here, an AudioScope to the effects chain, the last thing in the effects chain for all of these instruments here from the top. So now all we need to do is open AudioScope, okay, and let's make it full screen. And you'll see we have 10. We have 10 AudioScopes like this. These all need to be added. So the first one here, number one, all you need to do is all you need to do is long hold this mix button. Okay. And we're going to give it a name and I'm going to call it Curious Hammers. So Curious Hammers. And we're going to set this. And I'm going to do this for all 10 of them. Okay. So I'm going to show you one more. So control number 2 isn't there. Hold mix and there it is. Okay, so now we can move. What we're doing is essentially now mixing our 2 that we have, but we have 10, so they all need to be added and they all need to be named. So this second one is going to be called Endless. Actually, I'll just call it Endless. I mean, with a track like this, it's just names of patches, you know. But if it was drums, bass, guitar, etc., etc., you get the idea. Lead, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these, and to save you having to sit here while I do all of this, I'm going to add this one in as well. Just go bing. I'm going to name all these, and then I'll be back again in a sec. So another slight cut now while I populate this with all these instruments from this track. Back in a sec. Okay, we're back. I've just got one more to add now. So this last one here, and then just, oops, there we go. Long hold on mix and up here, and then we can rename it here. And I'm going to call this one Moving Voice. Now, like I said, for this, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to show you that it's a good idea. Excuse me. It's a good idea to name these, especially if you've got set things like might be vocal or what have you, or anything like this. So all we need to do now is this is it. We're set up now. We can start to actually mix this stuff. Let's bring it down a bit, but let's increase our range. I feel the range needs to be increased to at least 30 dB to start with, and we can start with all this stuff quite quiet. The track will run along as it's set up to do inside of GarageBand, of course. So depending on where to kind of start, if we were to say, oh, done now, we can see that I can close this as well. It doesn't matter. I'll need to open because I'll need to go nip back to the effect in a sec, won't I? So it'll start off like this and it'll just run through. And as it progresses, we can mix and do different snapshots and things and do really cool stuff with the stereo field. You maybe you might want to add some EQ, all that kind of cool stuff. So let's just go to plugins and EQ. Let's pick an instance here and let's open it up full screen. Let's play around with AudioScope. and you can always see which ones are playing, you see. Let's go Snapshot and save that anyway, with a 6-second transition time. So we've just looped back round. That's how you can get all sorts of cool movement. Must have been the same. So pick number 3. So if we do this will be cool. We can select, say, a particular section. Bear with me just a sec. So we've selected section H, and And we're just going to work on this. Let's get back to the beginning. So all the Midi's triggering. We can do cool stuff like this. Make it full screen. So now everything's panned over basically to the left hand side. We can go save that as a 8-second snapshot, and then we can place that in the middle for that one. Have that as an 8-second snapshot. And then save this one as a, say, a 5-second snapshot. Doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to show you some more cool stuff as well. So we can, if you want to change the color, long hold on here. We can go done and unlock our thing now, so it's all our sections. Okay. Right, I'm going to show you some other cool stuff. So we've got a lot going on here. Section D, there's tons of stuff going on. So let's choose section D and expand that so we can listen to hear it going. Okay, so this is the busiest kind of thing. So expand this. So we can see what is playing here. We'll move these out the way. Now, let's close this. What we can do is we can choose any of these. Open the mix bar here by long holding, and you'll see it swaps to the stereo view. I'll get to this in just a sec. So long hold again to swap back to the names and the basic mix positions. If you just quickly tap this, you get to the live mix bar, and we can solo the highlighted instrument. And then we can go, okay, let's open the EQ for that. for the mix. Now, if we hit stereo here, we can make this wider, or if you're wearing headphones, you'll hear that now. In the background's gone to mono. Full stereo width, right? And if we long hold our mix bar to swap this into the stereo position, and we open stereo, you can see we can control it here. But we don't need to keep swapping back to the instruments. We can choose our instrument here. So we could say, choose sparkling. I'm going to unsolo. I'm going to solo sparkling. And make that as wide as possible in the stereo mix. And we can of course mute as well. Listen to say this one. Okay, let's tap on the mix bar. We got EQ. Let's look at the shelf. And you can compare as well anything else you like that might be going on in the background. Well, here is, I got it. Solo. We're comparing moving voices now to Curious Hammers. Which also comes in handy for EQ matching as well. Of VU meters we can throw in to check. So there you go. There you go. Right, I'm not going to play around anymore. In fact, I'm going to actually go now. So if you've been watching this on a Premiere, thank you very, very, very much for watching. Yeah, just wanted to do a quick video on how to use AudioScope by 4Pockets inside GarageBand, which is really, really handy because, like I said, it's not that easy to mix in GarageBand. And, you know, with the panning and stuff, it makes this really easy. You can see it all on the actual display here, where you want to place everything in your mix. And you don't have to do the snapshots, and the snapshots can be instant as well. If you look at any of these snapshots, you get tons of options. You can go up to 16 beats or instant. So the glide time between the transitions here, it can be pretty much anything you like, up to 16 beats. So yeah, top job, cool beans, great job from Paul. And yeah, you got tons of stuff. The DC filter will eliminate low hum. It eliminates hum, I think. I'm not sure what it is, 50, below 50 hertz, but it works good. In fact, if we there you go. And of course you can just bypass it. See you all later. Ta-ra.